The Crash Course Live is presented by Smash It Demolition Derbies and the 2016 Basher Pass. Demo Derby Masters. Winter Slam 2016. Ultimate Derby and Blizzard Bash in Capital City Carnage. Scioppa Racing and ScioppaRacing.com. Reckless Abandon Derby Apparel at RecklessAbandonGear.com. And Derby Inc. Magazine. Live it, breathe it, be it, Derby Inc. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York. And now your host, Chris Marquardt.
Good afternoon, good evening, welcome to the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, episode number 153. On deck, we're going to be talking real quick to David Klein, catching up with him about the Chaos and the Valley show. He went 1-2 with Trenton Knight and Chad Kingery coming away with third place in the well division of that. Then we're going to talk with Tim Clark from Smash It Demolition Derby. They finally had some downtime, and what better way than to get out 42 events worth of promoter frustration than to go drive a pro mod and go head-to-head with a bunch of the guys that he spent the year with. I saw Davey Chapman picked up a win over the weekend. They had the Fall Brawl event up in Lindsay, Ontario. They had 160 cars at the Battle at the Border event with Jeremy Hayduke and Derby Dogs. Then we're going to catch up with Sam Williams at the end of the show to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that he's got going in terms of those benefits that he talked about when he was on last week. But bringing everybody else in on the program now. Brian making the trip in, making a return. It's been roughly a month, I think, since you've been here.
Yeah, it's been about that long. We getting towards the end of football. I only got one game left, so we got out of practice all early tonight, and here I am. It's good to be back.
And then Josh making the trip also.
You know, I was just thinking
that you haven't been here in 2 months.
Probably true, but I've been on a bunch of live streams, which is, those they go out. What I was thinking was, it's a new year, so you got to make a new intro. Right?
Thank you.
You got to make a new intro. I'm sorry, just throwing that out there.
I know.
There's a couple really good clips I got that I could give you.
Okay.
Actually, you took them. They're of me. So, but I'd like you to put them in that.
I'm
if you can put them in the intro.
It's just gonna be all Josh Decker hits.
Look at the heat you would get.
Yeah.
Let's try it for a week.
Is one of them in your truck? At Lavone or
I took off Dan's wheel. That's a killer shot.
Well, I was thinking about when you hit the dude, Bennett broke his truck in half.
Okay, that's a killer shot. Give me those. I got a couple great ones at Brookfield.
I don't remember those.
What? I was doing laps.
Wheel Days wasn't bad. Not Wheel Days. New Alex wasn't bad.
Okay. New Alex. I had a great season.
You had a great year. Now you have no Derby cars left.
I have 0.0 Derby cars. I'm totally out.
0.0.
Yeah, but the hauler comes at the end of the week to start delivering the fresh stuff for next year.
I'm already working on some shit.
Is that a Howard Stern reference? 0.0?
It's 0.0?
Yeah.
Exactly. 0.
I got that.
Yeah, I gotta start stocking back up.
Yeah. I heard you're going all 03 Newers next year.
Not at all. Not even close.
You're building nothing but
not
Fords.
Even one.
Wait a minute. I mean, you're hiring Ben to build nothing but Fords starting next year.
Wow.
I already know what I'm building, but it isn't. I gotta say, we've been going all over, right? And really, 03s and newer are awesome, but they take so much time to build. It's just not in my.
Ask Andy Wolfhanger and Ken Swingle about it. They were tipping their hand a little bit about what it was like to put together the ones that they drove this year.
Yeah,
and it was a battle. We did not see a lot of 03 and newers in Virginia this weekend. David Klein bringing a Mopar out there. Trenton Knight, he had a Mopar. Donald Klein. One of the nastiest Imperials I've ever seen built was with Billy Orndorff. It was a 64 Imperial 4-door.
Was it that red one?
It was the red one with a straight axle in the front end and leaves. It was
Jesus.
It was yeah.
Jeez, yeah. I didn't get to see any after pictures. If someone could post some, maybe I would love to see them. Damn, that looked nasty in the front. It looks the same?
Exactly the same.
Yeah. Were they sheeting those cars?
Huh?
Were they sheeting the outside of them?
Ask, David's on the line with us right now. You can ask him right now. David, what'd you do to those cars to make them so hard?
Weld and drank beer.
Weld and drink beer.
Good answer.
I like that.
Good answer.
That's one of the ways to do it. Rub a little bit of Virginia dirt down it. I guess that adds some whatever it is. Carbon makes it harder.
Yeah, it's
But
true.
David, I mean, the feature that you guys had to go through, it was a rough one. But on that last shot, you hit Trenton. It seemed like you lost the transmission at that point, and Trenton couldn't get it refired, so you came away with your 58th career feature win.
Yeah, that's correct. I didn't actually lose transmission. I got hung up on 10 degrees spring under my quarter panel.
I see.
Then I just dug holes.
And after that, it was over. The way
There it was.
I couldn't, from our vantage point, I couldn't see any wheel spin happening. So I see. So you dug 2 holes, and as it worked out well, though, that if Trenton had refired, he probably would have taken the win.
Oh yeah, we talked about that. And we always wanted to come down to us, and we was gonna put on a show. But when I smacked him, his car quit, and he was grabbing wires and crossing over switches, trying to get it parted back up, but it wasn't parted back up.
Yeah, it wasn't even really pushing black smoke. It wasn't even acting like it wanted to. The wind down there was unbelievable. It was about 45 degrees, and we had a wind strong enough to shove porta-johns across the grounds. That was before they had ballast.
Wow.
Let your imagination take you where it will. When
Wow.
they were empty, it was shoving those things around like crazy.
Well, I noticed there's a picture of your family on Facebook, and everybody looked pretty bundled up and still looked pretty cold.
Yeah, it's funny that we went to Virginia to dress like we were at Winter Slam.
Yeah.
That was,
I noticed that.
that was a lot of fun. There's Alan's car.
Nice.
That right there was the most underbuilt car there, and a 7-year-old took Mad Dog,
That's awesome.
and it is wasted. I got down there, and we had some flooding in our basement on Thursday and Friday, so I didn't get a chance to really go through everything the way that I wanted to, and just ran out of time, so I started to horse around with the stuff down there. The purple car, that's the same chassis that Alan had when he had the purple car at Crystal Valley, where the bumpers were shoved up underneath it on both sides. He blew the motor in it. He shorted out the electrical motor. I could only get a little bit of RPM before it died completely, so we had to do a motor swap there waiting to get going. But he got that thing back together and drove so hard to rip the front bumper off at the back end. He was on the ride home. He was holding on to his plaque, looking at it, and he looked over his shoulder, and you could see the fender flopping in the back of the car. And he goes, that bent just about how I wanted it to. It went up in the front, it went in the back.
That's awesome.
Attaboy.
That's awesome.
That's great.
He goes, the Mad Dog, that's the one that Josh Decker wins all the time, right?
Damn
I'm like,
right,
that
kid.
is, because he
See?
doesn't win features.
I can't drive. We all know that.
Great.
But it was
Hey, Bill Orndorff sending me pictures right now.
There it is.
This after.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking at it right now.
Bill, when you saw the cars that were lined up there, David, I mean, it was no soft path to the feature, let alone as rough as it was going to get in the main event. What were your thoughts on it?
I kind of had a couple in mind to look out for, but just keep moving.
Yeah.
Like good shots, keep moving.
It didn't seem like anybody had the opportunity to catch their breath. The compact show was awesome. Josh Wilkins was right there. He almost made the thing, and it wouldn't refire for him. The truck feature was great. Came right down to the end, and minivan was blown right over center. The back bumper was just about touching the rear axle. That thing was spent. And but David's show, I mean, your main event was rough. There was only 8 cars out there. 3 of them came out of the same camp. Jason Koch ended up breaking, I believe he broke a steering shaft, and at that point he was just along for the ride as your brother Donald, who made his return to driving, it was good to see him, shoved him up in the blocks, and then you teed off on Jason and got him up on 2 wheels a couple times, and it seemed like that was one of those cars that you were looking to get rid of early.
Yeah, Jason builds good stuff, and I knew he's one to get. If you got a shot on him, you better take it.
Right.
I mean, the first shot was legit, but maybe I should have backed off of it a little bit on the second shot. But I've been on the receiving end of that too. So they got such hard stuff that you can't really kill them on one shot.
No. Nothing out there was going to be taken out on one shot. Chad Kingery was hung up on a bumper that had punched through the door, and he couldn't get free. And then you guys took the opportunity to take the wheel off of it and shove it, the axle, right through the opposite side. And that took care of him.
He stepped up the game. He's getting better drive trains, and it's right down 10. You can't pussyfoot around. You got a shot. You got to take it.
In terms of your brother's return, it was kind of exciting to see him drive. Looked like he had a pre-run mid-60s Chrysler. Where'd that car come from, and how about your own entry? What's left of that one?
Well, Don was down there and watched last year, and he didn't like how things went down, so he told me last year he wanted to run again. I said, well, I got a car, you can run. I run that car 4 times previous. So it come out the same shop.
Yeah.
And my car, it held up good, but it's more or less done. I'll take the front clip, rear end, stuff like that, but no.
How many cars have you got left out there at the compound?
Oh, 35, 40.
Running out, huh?
Getting low.
Wow.
Remember David.
Me out.
Remember David at the Keystone? No, at the Superstock show.
Yep.
He brought a car out that most of us would die for. I think it was a Ford that he brought there, and he said that he finally had to run it because he was tired of having to mow around it for the last 25 years.
No, I think it was like a '66 Newport or something.
Was
wasn't
it? I thought he had. Okay.
Yeah, it was a Y-frame. I think I remember that story though. It's been around older than me.
Yeah.
Yep. That's awesome.
Got tired of having to mow around it. Wasn't going to have any floors in it soon, so we had to go wreck it. The thing never moved.
That's awesome.
But you guys going to come back for the fair next year?
Yeah. We're going to probably try to come a couple of them.
Yeah. I like the sounds of that. It was a lot of fun watching you guys drive down there, and as always, Jason and Penny put on an excellent show down there with Cass in the Valley. It was a great show to be a part of. We're going to be getting that stuff, figure out how we're going to get everything out of the camera and up onto YouTube for everybody here, and you'll see a show post on that as we get all those materials put together. But again, man, David, is there anybody that you wanted to make mention of? I know there's a bunch of names on the side of all your cars when you go out there and run them. Who helps keep the team going?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Kirk French's Auto Parts, Alan Falk for Cherry Grove Body Shop, Bill Reed's Tire out of Stanley, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some sponsors that goes way back, 20, 25 years, some of them 30. And I can't thank them enough for, the way they help me, just help me out on stuff. And
It's real.
there's a bunch of other good friends that's helped me over the years, and it's just all been fun.
How about Trenton's cars? Is there anything left of that after you wallop the side of it?
Well, he took one of the best old Chryslers I had, and he's my son. Well, he's stepson, but I've raised him since little,
Mm-hmm.
and he wanted that car, so he ended up with it. Yeah, it's we can do a little patching on it. It'd be a good ride again.
Yeah. It seemed like all the cars that left there from the feature, with a little bit of patching, could be good rides again. It didn't seem like anything was really hurt that bad. I mean, it was like axles or front wheels, mm-hmm.
which the way the stuff's built now, that's the way it goes. That's what you break.
Yep.
A couple of them drive trains, I think. But like you said, that was a pretty hard feature. I mean, that was some of the hardest cars I ever hit. So I've hit a lot of them.
Jake Norris, the number 180, he had come in from New Hampshire to take part in this show, and he ended up knocking both front wheels off his car and parked on your trunk. Were you concerned at all through the course of the feature that dragging that extra weight around was going to slow you down and let you get hit with an inopportune shot?
Well, he was kind of working with me.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was running up that he knew when I was going forward to gas on it and help. I tried to jack him around on walls a couple times. I knew he was hooked good, but as long as we was working together, I wasn't worried about it.
Give him better traction.
Absolutely.
Oh, that extra
Double
grip.
horsepower.
Yeah, you had 2 drivetrains instead of 1.
Yeah.
Yep.
Certainly seemed to pan out for you again. Congratulations on the win down there. It was a outstanding show again, and number 58 in the books. We'll see you go for number 59 coming up here in a couple months when we see you back again at the Shenandoah County Fair in August.
All right. Thanks for calling.
You bet, David. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
And there goes David Klein, winner from Chaos in the Valley.
Couple months. You better check your calendar, buddy.
Yeah, you're more than a couple.
You're more than a couple.
It'll go by like a couple.
Yeah, it's what,
It'll go
10
by
months? It's not. I don't know if you've noticed, but the schedule goes by really fast now.
Understatement.
Yeah, perhaps. I like how you pointed out that this is a new year. This really is this is Demolition Derby New Year. Everything
Yes.
starts again
Right now.
in the
Blizzard
next
Bash.
3 weeks. Everything is going to start over again with the Blizzard Bash event. Will be.
Isn't it weird how like Blizzard Bash is pretty much it's the last big show of the year, but it seems like it just kicks off the next year.
It does.
I mean, it's
Winter Slam is pretty much sold out.
Yeah.
You can't get a car in there. They've got
well,
the new
Josh
venue.
Decker could. Let's be honest.
I think I'm going a different direction that time of year.
Yeah, you'll be in Florida.
Yes, sir.
February 11th is Winter Slam. Napa Auto Parts Winter Slam. Weld class paying $2,000 to win. Stock 80 is $1,000 to win. Trucks $1,000 to win. Compacts $1,000 to win. Hardest hitter in each class gets $300 and a trophy. Longest toe is $100. Second longest toe is $75. Best paint gets $100, and that's non-specific in terms of division. The best painted car on the grounds that day. Moving to St. Peter, Minnesota. Again, that's going to be the 11th of February, 2017. Sounding like we've got the opportunity to go out there, which would be kind of cool to see the new venue and the new facility. They've got pretty much double the seating is what they had at the Blue Earth County Fairgrounds we were at previously. I guess there's still going to be the after party at. I think they're talking about going to the Best Western now, but they've got so many entries they're turning people away. Each one of those divisions we just mentioned, World Class, Stock 80s, trucks, and compacts, open to 35 cars, and that's it. 4 one and dones, and they roll them off, they send them through, and they've got all the room that you could ask for. The track is going to be enormous again, and you're going to see pretty much 35 entries in every division. And they're talking about turning people away, and they don't want to go to a 2-day show. So we're going to be talking with Randy a little bit more. We're looking forward to seeing him out in at Blizzard Bash. He's going to be driving in the bone stock class. He's a very popular driver right now in the fantasy league. I told him that. He laughed. He didn't even realize that the fantasy league was happening, I guess. I don't know.
That sounds like
Popular on the track, too.
It's going to be.
Yeah, 'cause he's going for a three-peat. He's going for winning 3 years in a row out there.
Yeah, it'd be pretty neat to see it. So we're going to try and squeeze in another quick one. I got to grab Dion Riley, 289.
I can't wait till Blizzard Bash early.
Yeah.
You know why Blizzard Bash starts in the new year? Because when you leave there, first
You got all sorts of shit in your
oh
head.
my God! You're like, I gotta build a Cadillac. I gotta build a 03. I gotta build a. It absolutely. It leaves you like, I mean, you get out of there so adrenaline. Even though we're exhausted, I still could start building the car that next morning when we get back. It's
Well,
I got so many ideas.
Your crew could start building it.
Yes, I'll watch them.
Hey, Dion. It's Chris. Let me put you
Wasn't
to
it cool
the
though,
phone
like
board, okay?
to get the flight confirmation and stuff? Because like we knew we were going, but like you get the flight confirmation, you're like, yeah, we're there. It's like Christmas morning.
I can't wait.
In terms of coming up, Crash Course New Year's Eve, we just got another confirmation. Jeremy Gully going to be raffling off one of the door prizes. We've got the Box Crown Vic with the steel bumpers, run drives, moves. We've got the W body. That's going to be one of the door prizes. Now we have a Dodge Ram pickup. There's going to be a door prize being raffled off for remarkably affordable. It's one of the cleanest shockers you're ever going to see. That's going to be raffled off that night, which is Aaron Bunce is working with us on that one. And I just heard from Doug Medlin from up in Canada. He's bringing a Bolton Cradle, and that's going to be raffled off on the grounds.
So you have
Ron
four
McClung,
more?
you have 3 cars that are being given away just for showing up with the
truck.
door prizes: a truck, a car, a truck, and 2 cars.
A Bolton Cradle?
There's a Bolton Cradle that's a separate raffle that you can buy tickets for,
need
and then
that.
the Shocker's a separate raffle that you can.
But
that
he's
you can
only
buy.
doing a limited amount of tickets, isn't he?
No, that's not a fixed number of tickets.
Oh, all right.
Nope, as
Yeah,
many
but-
tickets will sell.
Smart.
Ben's
Yeah.
going to buy about 6 arm legs. He
That's
might
fine.
be looking for a
I
shocker.
never win shit.
Nope,
Neither do I.
I never do it. I always put money in those
you
things. I
gotta
can
you gotta
never
spend
win.
more money.
Wait a minute.
Spend more money? I spent a shit ton of money at Caledonia.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I could have bought the car.
I watched Ben buy tickets at Caledonia, and I was like,
Only takes one.
And I think that's all the guy that bought was one.
Probably.
And he hadn't been in a
That
car
happens
before.
every time.
Oh,
but Ben
absolutely.
would have won that damn derby if he would have got that car.
Him and Klinger would have put on a hell of a show at the end.
Eating on one another. I would have been smiling ear to ear.
That's true. You would have had to beat
He would have
Klinger.
smoked my ass probably.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Rick Clark is coming. He's going to be setting up a table to vend. I understand that Ron McClung, he's going to be there as well. Just
Josh Decker doing autographs again?
Josh Decker is not doing autographs.
Not
He
this
told
year.
me.
Wow.
He told me he's not doing autographs. He goes, "You're going to be lucky if you even see me."
Wow.
Yep, which I thought was classy,
Just
but
bring a
it's cool.
stamp.
It's cool.
I'm getting to that level actually.
He
So
said that Uncle Mark and Uncle Todd want him to go on family vacation.
Oh.
So he's not going to be able to squeeze us in.
See you guys.
But yeah, it's going to be a good time.
I got a bunch of people message me about it, so I think it's gonna be a good time. I think
It's going to be packed.
Bando's staying at my house again. I hope.
Oh, is he coming out again?
He's planning on it.
That'll be awesome.
He had a great time.
Yeah, he
Oh,
did.
yeah.
He had a great
I think
time.
everybody had a good
Yeah,
time.
it was really
Dude, when
fun.
you get to sit in a room with no derby stress
And
and
just
listen
talk.
to Mad Mike.
And Bandow.
Yeah, Mad Mike's like giving a 98-02. He's talking. It's like, okay, let me. Even though I don't like him, I'm gonna listen to everything he's saying. You know, and it's just this is the room of
don't like Mad
listening
Mike?
in there.
No, he doesn't like the cars.
Oh, okay. Wanted to make sure we were clear
Yeah,
on
you
that.
do.
98-02.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
No, but I want to. But I mean, just that room, you get to talk to all these guys, but there's no stress that night. It's like so relaxed, and then you get people's drinking, and man, it's the fun stuff comes out, you know. And
It was a good time.
And-
Browns are talking about making the trip
There should be a rule,
out.
though. Everybody leaves their phone at the door.
I agree.
well, that's actually
Yeah.
that's something that we might actually have to call out. You might see me walk around with a basket because that is a lot of people get themselves
Get rid
in
of that
trouble.
thing. On the line with us right now, Bobby Cousineau relayed the information, and I don't even know if Dion knew that we were calling him. Dion Riley, who came away with the win in the $10,000 fall brawl in Lindsay, Ontario. Not too bad of a run. $10,000 payday.
Nice
Can't argue
payday.
with that. Dion, man, how'd that run go? Dion?
Pretty good. He's speechless.
Dion Riley.
Can't hear you.
Well, didn't Sickles win the compact?
I don't know that.
He won a compact somewhere, $2,000.
But $10,000. Like, imagine going home one night and someone just handed you $10,000. It's like, damn.
Yeah,
That's
there?
only like a rear end and transmission.
You're right. But I could so use $10,000.
All right, we got him back. Dion, how was the run up there?
All right. It's a little cold.
A little
All right.
cold? I bet you $10,000 may buy you a good blanket.
Yeah. Some overalls.
So tell us a little bit about how everything went front to back. I mean, I know that they got multiple rings running at the same time. They had a pile of cars turn out, compacts all over the place. It sounded like it was an awesome show up there.
It was a very good show, well put on by Impact Motorsports. There was several, I don't know the final count of cars that were there, but, I mean, there was a lot of good drivers in the feature, and lucky for me, my car outlasted the rest of them.
In terms of
Bobby
outlasting,
Cruz,
go ahead.
what was that, bud?
In terms of outlasting the rest of them, I mean, how close was it at the finish? Were you starting to grab that steering wheel a little bit tighter and hear your heartbeat in your ears as you were getting closer and closer to that money?
Well, I honestly thought Bobby Cruz was going to win it twice in a row. I
Yeah.
didn't think I'd have the car to beat him.
Mm-hmm.
His car was looking a lot better than mine, but at the end of the day, I'm thinking his tranny broke and mine kept moving, so it was good for me and bad for him, I guess, but
How much time?
there was a lot of other good cars out there other than just Bobby, but he was the one to watch. So.
How much time did you have left in your car, do you think?
I don't think much more at all.
No.
I think it was pretty much at the end of its life.
That car get left out in front of your house just to let everybody know what a championship car looks like?
I was happy to see it end.
Yeah.
For sure.
Don't even imagine. Josh, just so everybody knows, Josh has never been that close to $10,000
Hell
ever.
no. Hell no. On such a track.
Hey, you have
Yeah,
your
you're-
next to Todd.
Oh, that's true.
It's not often going to take you in 10,000, so we'll take it any day we can get it.
Damn right.
Now, are you done for the year? Or are you going to try and squeeze one more in?
That's the last show of the year for us around here, so
Yeah.
we're backing it in for the year, cleaning up the mess, and getting ready for next year.
I didn't know maybe Bobby would offer to put a car in the trailer and send you down into. We got the Tiger Memorial that's happening here. We've got that Turkey Derby. We've got another cleanup show that's coming up on the 5th of November in Ohio. There's a couple different places that they're still derbying on top of Blizzard Bash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's crazy.
I've never managed to cross the border yet to Derby, so I've been down to watch quite a few, but never made the trip down with a car yet. So maybe next year we'll venture off and make our way down that way.
That'd be cool.
What do you got? What do you got this money earmarked for? Are you going to turn around and start restocking with more small cars? You going to try and buy a new power plant? What's the plan?
No, I'm sticking with the small cars.
Yeah.
The affordable cars.
Buy 20 of them.
What's
I know.
What's one of those?
Your life with 10 grand.
Yeah, I know. What's one of those? What's one of those go for up there?
Well, the car that I won in, I paid $200 for it, and I probably had about $200 worth of steel in it. So
That's a pretty good investment.
Yeah, it's a nice turnaround. It's a good gamble right there. How many shows did you end up running through the course of this year?
I believe 8 or 9.
It's not bad.
So
That's busy.
it was a pretty good year.
I have not talked to Reg, but remember last year when he said that you ran something
30
It was
something.
like
right?
35 or 36.
I think it might have wore him out though, because he didn't run too much this year.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a lot to run.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's insane. And he ran everything: big cars, small cars, trucks.
Think about just in entry fees.
Yeah,
Times $35 times entry fees. Gate fees plus entry fees, then the gas. Right? We're not including cars.
And beer to recover.
Absolutely. He's got a good job, though. Okay.
That's awesome. What's your plan to start the year next year? You already looking forward to starting, or are you going to enjoy some downtime?
I'm hoping to start it the way it ended, so I'm hoping to start off with a win.
Where at?
absolutely.
Probably we have a winter derby here, so
In Lindsay?
just swing at it and see how we can make out.
Is that in Lindsay?
No, it's Blackstock,
Okay,
put on by Impact Motorsports also.
sure. They kind of run they rule the roost up there.
They sure do. There's not very many promoters in Ontario, and there's nobody that will compete with them, so they're a great group of people, so
They did an awesome
look
job.
forward to seeing them every weekend.
Well, you'll see him. You'll see him at least 8 or 9 times next year when you get out there on the road. The show up there was brought online by Derby Tees, working with the folks from Impact and Johnny Bianco. That was all online. Mark Klein working with those guys, and it looks like we're going to be working with Mark Klein and some of his crew when we get down to Blizzard Bash here in a couple of weeks, working with some of the production directives that they've put into the Kansas Expo Center, trying to make things a little bit easier in terms of the access. So that's going to be kind of neat to collaborate a little bit on a project with Mark. We got Tim Clark coming up here quick, but we wanted to try and squeeze in some times for you before we let you go, just like we do with everybody. Is there anybody that you want to make mention of or thank to help get you out there so you could win that show up there at the Fall Brawl? Other than Team Dion, is there anybody that you wanted to make mention of that helped get the car out there so that you were in position to win?
You lost him.
You lost him, Chris.
Dion, they found out at the border how much you brought home.
Yeah.
They had to check him out. You lost him, but all right.
Speaking of that, because we just talked about winter derbies, right? Because you're going to get someone else on the phone.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to put on a winter derby. Right?
Hang on one second.
Okay,
I gotta fix it.
I know
There's
you're
something
coming
wrong
to
with.
I know. I was pipe dreaming again today. Okay. Actually, I got someone else I want to talk to you about. I was pipe dreaming about.
Oh boy.
On the show or after the show?
After the show, I want to
That's
talk about
what I
this
was
pipe
afraid
dream
of.
about.
Go on.
Because I want to make it
Winter
a
derbies will
reality.
work.
Okay, I want to do. I'm being serious when I say this. Okay, I want to put on a winter derby in our area.
Andy Wolfhanger sitting
Indoor.
at home taking note.
I don't want to do it outdoor.
Where the hell are you going to do?
Okay, that's my last. That's my last thing I'm working on.
Oh, that's all you gotta do is find it into our
You got to
arena.
find an indoor arena, which I've got. Okay, I found one.
Casala's recycling building.
No, I found one that people would lose their mind if I had it there. But the upfront security, I was talking to Sam about security deposits too. The bigger place you go,
The bigger security deposit.
The security deposits are as much as my house.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Seriously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're real. These are real security deposits. You know? So I got this pipe dream, right? Okay, I can't put my house. I can't sign my house over to these, but
Well, I mean, you think about it. You got to cover. I mean, think if something happened at Blizzard Bash and one of the walls like that goes around the arena, if one of them got
definitely.
cracked, I mean,
You need a crazy friend that's willing to do something absurd, like put their house up. Like if you
No,
had a
I
friend
don't.
that
I don't.
perhaps you had a friend whose name rhymed with Barry Gartman. That would,
no, that's so screwed up. It's like, Jerry, just sign here on the dotted line. Just saying your house is gone in case. No, that's so screwed up. If I was a bad person, that's actually a good idea. I got some great ideas. I just need this crazy thing called cash.
money's a real thing,
Sponsors,
Josh.
All you gotta do is ask them.
That's
I don't want sponsors. I want to do it on my own. Goddamn it.
Josh learned that this year. Money's a real thing.
Yeah, money's a real thing that I don't have.
you just got to sell more, man. You got to sell more on the
I
road. Get
tried
on it.
that. I'm giving up on that. I'm going to try something different. I'm going to try something totally different.
Tim Clark is waiting to hear your grand
Sorry.
idea. Go on, please.
No,
Tell-
that's it.
Yeah,
That's
tell
it. That was
some-
my good idea when I have a winter derby in our area.
That was it.
That was it.
That was it.
The other idea, it's between
Next time,
us.
next time, just hang back and stretch.
I'm sorry. Our area needs one.
I agree, but
Look
where
at
are you
Winter
gonna do
Slam,
it?
dude. They're
I
turning people
understand.
away,
they're,
man.
They're outdoors.
I don't
You
want to do
go-
outdoors.
You want to go indoors. How are you going to do that?
We'll figure that out.
Okay.
That's the last part's your. We'll call it the crash course.
I
Winter Nationals.
You've already pitched me this a couple
It
times.
sounded good.
That sounds
right off the
good.
tongue. It sounded
Sounded
good.
good.
Crash course Winter Nationals.
Oh my gosh! Come on. You need to find. I already
great
did the
idea.
hard work. I
Wait
thought
a
of
minute.
it.
Wait a minute.
So you just back it. You just attach it to the New Year's party.
Okay, I thought about this already.
days.
I already
Two
thought
days.
about it. I already thought about that.
2 days.
I'm already.
You got the derby, then
I'm
the
with
New
you.
Year's party.
I'm with you.
Okay, we got to find a venue. Tim Clark, we need some help with the
The
venue.
Walmart parking lot.
Here's.
right next
I've
door.
already figured it out.
Yeah, go.
Penguins Arena.
That's in
Penguins
Pittsburgh.
Arena.
Yeah.
That's
so-
not local.
That's local. It's northeast, isn't it?
It's
Well,
not
that's-
local.
It's not
New York
local.
It's
State.
not local enough. Oh.
Carrier Dome in
Suddenly,
Syracuse. That's where we
suddenly we're
got to go.
pipe dreaming, but we're particular about it
Why don't you just have it on top of Mount Trashmore?
because that's not indoors.
It don't matter. It's high enough elevation.
I wish there was a place around here like there is in Arkansas, like the
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
the
I
place in
agree.
Arkansas is so badass. It's
outdoor
covered,
arena.
but it's outdoor.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a sick venue around
Hot
here.
Springs. Yep.
Yeah, to do
We
winter
gotta build
shit.
that we could probably. I mean, that's only a couple mil.
How much is your house worth,
No, no.
Ben?
No, I'm way too much in debt.
If I can quote the Ghostbusters, everybody has 3 mortgages these days. Anyway,
You can put
go-
all 3 of you guys together and don't equal what mine is.
Okay,
You're right.
okay.
You're right.
You're just gonna be head inspector then, so just sign that off. I mean, that's fine.
Tim Clark came away with 2nd place over the weekend, and I got to believe that the end of the season is welcome for you, Tim.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good season. It was a pretty good derby over the weekend that I went and ran. I went and ran what we call down here like a street stock class. I have the same class at the Bash, but so kind of got a car, beat the windows out of it, went and had some fun.
So tell me about how rough that was running a street stock.
It was actually pretty rough. I mean, there were some drivers, of course, that they say I make some calls over the summer at derbies that I put on that they're running for me, so they're after me, and there's a couple of them after me pretty good. So it was fun.
And was there any particular thorns that you were able to come across on the track that gave you trouble in the inspection line that you're able to do some retribution on?
No, I think that was pretty easy. I mean, like I said, it's pretty much you can move the battery, you can move the gas tank, and you can weld the bumpers on, and it still has to start with the key switch, still the stock motor, and everything like that. You have to shift it with the shifter on the column.
Yuck.
So, but it wasn't bad. The
Ron-
hardest thing about that class, I think, is for me to find reverse. It's always hard to find reverse in that for me.
Yeah.
Ron McClung is drooling right now. He's like,
Yeah, he
when
loves
is it?
that.
When is it? And when can I go?
Yeah, that Ron would love
Right.
that.
He's stockpiling Fords right now. Thinking, November, we're going. October, we're going.
Mm-hmm.
The season, I got to believe that it's going to go down as a successful one. You had 40-some shows, Bash for Cash, big as ever. You've already released some information about Bash for Cash coming up next year. Can you give us a little...
Yeah, the season was great. The worst thing I had to do is I had a cleanup class show at the end of the year, and it poured down rain, and
I had to cancel that. Then tried to reschedule it, and the fairgrounds had so many different things going on at the fairgrounds, and I didn't want to really take the time and to move it to another fairgrounds because it's just so hard to do on the fly because you get fire protection and all that. A lot of people don't understand how hard that is to come up with within a week or something. So
Definitely.
we just canceled it and moved on. But the year was great for us.
What
Now,
what can you give us tonight that's going to make Russ pick up his cell phone real quick about Bash for Cash next year?
I think Russ is pretty much, knows what's going on. I think so far. This year we kind of doubled the purse on all the filler classes, paying like $2,000 to win that. We're going to this year with the raffle car. We're going to sell tickets, and we're still going to give a wagon away. Plus, we're going to pull another ticket and give a 74 Chevy Impala away that same day.
Cool.
Awesome.
So, how we're thinking what we're going to do with the raffle is sell tickets, pull a ticket, the first ticket, that first guy comes up, he'll get to choose if he wants the driver or if he wants the wagon.
That's awesome.
So when, say, the guy picks the driver, we'll pull another ticket, and that guy gets the wagon. So
Damn.
both cars are going to get given away.
Damn.
There's
We're
not.
going to give a 74 Power away for the Joker Wire class again this year. So, I mean, there's going to be some cars given away at the Bash for
We're
Cash
running that
this
again, right?
year
Wire
for sure.
class?
Yeah.
I don't know.
let's go.
That sounds awesome.
Let's go.
Would you take the driver or the?
No,
you
I'd
got to
take
take
the
the derby
wagon.
car. You got to
No,
take the
derby
wagon.
car.
It's got way
Derby
more money
car.
in it.
You
Yeah.
gotta have balls and take
The
the
174 Impala, it's a driver. You could drive it home.
I don't want to drive it home.
Oh, you could enter it in the Joker class, I guess. I don't know. Knock the windows out.
There you
Wait.
go.
That would be awesome if
That
Lions did
would
it.
be absurd.
Yeah, that would be cool.
make
Pull it out of the
nuts.
track and knock stuff out. Just go.
Spray paint the number on it and just send it.
That would be fun. That would be awesome.
Yeah, it
Now,
would.
now, Tim,
Wait a
have you
minute. Would you do that?
Yes.
Yes.
I would.
Ben would do that.
Tim, have you talked with Russ about the golf cart derby and or the combine derby this year for Bash for Cash?
Yeah, no. I
Side
showed
by
him a
side.
video. It was on Facebook about some RVs having a demolition derby, and I told him we should do that at the Bash, and he's like, "There's no way."
No,
Don't do that.
No,
Don't
don't
No,
do
you
that.
don't want to do RVs.
No.
A whole
We've
pile
all
of us
had
almost died.
bad
Yeah.
bad times there.
On paper, it was cool, but the cleanup effort alone, notwithstanding the fact that Josh Buell and Josh Decker and Richie Predmore all almost died.
Yeah,
Vern almost fell out the front of it. And he's still hitting with it.
Yeah.
Right,
Steering
the
it was
plan would be
crazy.
terrible, that's for sure.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Unless they got new RVs.
No, because they're made out of the same plywood and fiberglass. It's
Remember,
no.
Buell took a shot on the side and the whole body fell off. He drove away, and it was him, the shifter, the transmission.
It was crazy. It landed on him first
Yeah.
and then rolled over him.
Yeah.
That's
God, it
Well, that was the
scary.
thing. I got offered 2 or 3 times there. They're like, Brian, you want to drive one? I'm like, no chance in hell. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, they're fiberglass and plywood. You can't wreck that stuff.
I was
Oh,
excited
yeah,
as
that'll be
hell.
fine. And I'm like,
You're better
all right.
off running like short school buses.
Yeah, no
Now,
doubt.
school buses
Now,
are different.
now, short school buses, Ben's onto something. Go
School
on.
buses are different.
I would
Short
love to run a
bus,
school
yeah.
bus.
Yeah, but make sure it's not too nice, because I'm kind of in the market for one.
You don't want.
No, you don't want a school bus.
I want a short school bus.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
20-seater.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
Well, I guess you're out. Two,
guess-
even no matter what I say, you lost there.
Yeah.
Why does Chris always think of this crazy
I
stuff?
don't think. I mean, you don't have enough time for any more filler classes, do you?
Yeah, you going to 6 days now?
Did
You don't have
lose
any
Tim,
time
too?
for more filler classes, do you? I mean, how you're not gonna be able to add any more filler classes per se. You're just adding money to the ones that are already existing.
I didn't hear you.
You're not adding filler classes per se. You're just going to go with what you've already got and adding money to the existing classes.
Right, I'm just going with the classes that I had last year and adding more money to everything. So it should be a pretty good event.
Absolutely.
What ended up
Russ
being
says if I had another class, it was going to have to. He's going to have to kill me. So I don't think I'm going to have to do that. There's just so much time to inspect the car count when you do get there. So
how many entries did you finally end up with in total last year? Do you remember?
546 cars that ran that weekend.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
From cars to trucks to everything that ran, and that's not even counting mowers.
And Power Wheels.
It was like 30 mowers or something.
And everybody,
It's ridiculous.
you guys were so happy to see
it was
the
a
Joker
pretty
Wear
big
Class
weekend,
cars
that's for
come
sure.
through.
That's what, and our phone's ringing off the hook all the time about, we always start taking entries November 1st, and, it's crazy. It was funny, the other day Russ was out to my house, and I opened the mailbox, and there's a bunch of, I was like, what am I going to, and I probably have 50 camp spots already sold in, just a couple days, so it's just, people's paying for their camping already. I mean, it's like a big vacation. You know how it goes.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That event is such a monster.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it is.
I talk to people constantly about promoting, and they always bring up this Bash for Cash. I don't know how Tim and Russ do it. I don't know how they do it. And really, I don't know how you guys do it. It's a monster to try to bring everything to get through that weekend. Just a one-day event is so hard to do, and these guys putting a whole week together. It's crazy.
I rode around with Tim for, I don't know, a couple hours on a golf cart with him, and just to see all the stuff he had to go through and he was doing, I'm just like, I don't know how you guys can handle it. I mean, they really do. And him and Russ, I mean, they split the duties, but, and I kind of saw, what Russ went through, the inspection and stuff like that. But like I said, I went and rode around with Tim for a day, or not even a day, just a couple hours. And, man, it's crazy. And the thing is, though, is like I never, 90% of the stuff that I seen Tim have to deal with, I never thought about it as having to deal with that stuff as a promoter. I've never been involved.
Anything you can think of.
Yeah, and that's the thing is we're driving around and he's telling me different things. Because I'm me, so I ask all sorts of questions, and
not good ones.
And he and he's answered as we go, and I'm just like, I never would have thought I had to deal with this, as a promoter and the stuff you got to go through. It's definitely, I mean, for a show that size. It's crazy.
I don't think people realize that a promoter's job is to keep all the sections running smoothly, because it's actually broke down into a lot of sections. You got your inspection, you got your registration, your gate, and you got to keep going around because, like Brian says, the dumbest things keep coming up.
Because the thing is Tim reiterated this to me a couple times before. Just because it's not going smoothly doesn't mean it's not going well.
Right. Absolutely.
Right.
You might.
I mean, I still think a lot of it didn't go as great, as smooth as I'd like, but I mean, it's that the other promoters that do big shows, they understand what I'm talking about. It's a big show is a beast that you can't hardly tame, and it's very hard. You always never have enough staff. You always put more staff on board every year, and every year you say you got to have more.
Yep.
And it's a lot of things you have to do.
It's a constant learning curve. You're never going to get ahead of it.
By that weekend, it seems like I can't talk, Russ can't talk.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
What's really tough too is you truly, as a promoter, want to say hi and talk to every single person that comes to your event. You want to, but you cannot. You cannot, especially these guys. I mean, the amount of people, and people got to remember too, when you get your 30 seconds to say hi, how you doing, let the guys go. I mean, they got stuff to do. There's some people that will sit and talk your ear off, even though you're pushing them away. I gotta go, and it's please let me go.
That's why you ride your own golf cart.
Like I always say, I need about 3 Tims that day and about 4 Russes that day. So, especially for the weekends. I mean,
true.
It's just really hard to do.
Just delegate. Brian's available.
We do the best we can, and all we can do is just keep trying and keep moving on, and hopefully it's a great event. I
mean, take Brian if you need an extra set of hands to be like you. Take Brian. I mean, other than a star punch, Bald Bull's unstoppable.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all fun and games till Chris says up.
Well, it's funny, like Brian talked, like he rode around with me with golf carts, and I mean, I think I rent 25 golf carts that weekend, and sometimes I forget. I'll be driving one and I forget where I put it. I'll jump on another one. And somebody's like, "You took my golf cart." I'm like, "Where's mine at?"
Awesome.
It's just so much.
And the next week you just find them.
Like you said, you have to take care of the gates. You have to take care of this. You got to take care of this.
Yes.
You got to make sure your guys are getting fed and an inspection line. I mean, it's just so much that a lot of people don't think about trying to keep it organized.
Oh, it's tough.
So,
And that was the thing is like I can't remember exactly what it was, but Tim was doing something and he goes, "Here, take this and take the golf cart and go over." And I can't remember what it was. He goes, "Then come back and get me." And he goes, "We'll take we'll do whatever." And I said, "Okay." So I come back and Tim's gone. So I saw Tim's son. I'm like, "Any idea where your dad is?" He's like, "Nope, not a clue." So I proceeded to drive around the fairgrounds for I don't know how long. And they're like, "Oh yeah, Tim was just here and he just left again." And I'm like, for the love of God. And it took me like half an hour to find him. He did too. He probably just jumped on another golf cart and took off. But it was cool. But I mean, it was cool because obviously I've seen what you guys went through with Coos, and I've seen some other smaller shows. But like to be around, hang out and see for just a few hours what it's like. It's something that big. I'm just like, yeah, I'll just stick to getting on TV and talking about them for a little while. That promoting stuff's for the birds.
But, you hear people say, like, I'm going to put on, because I hear people say this to me all the time, I'm going to put on a big derby, right?
I hear people say this to me all the
time. Well, you and me here. We get the dumbest shit sent to us. But anyways, we got a dumb idea. Keep it to yourself.
I hear Josh tell me all the time, I'm going to put on go on.
Oh, are you going to say my ideas? My ideas are good. What a jerk. Are you talking about my ideas?
I say any promoter that does a big show and keeps it halfway organized, hats off to them.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
you guys up in New York, they're starting to do the King of Old School up there. I mean, you can ask whoever's involved with that. I mean, it's a lot of work, So I don't know.
Can you imagine
We
Tim
just do
goes
our
back
best
to
we can and move on.
Tim goes back to
Not
Ross.
saying it was great organized, but we try.
He goes back to the Ross County Fairgrounds. There's 3 or 4
What's
golf carts up on blocks. One of them half sticking. You can see the back half of one sticking out of a pot. The tow vehicles just starting to corral the pieces.
That's awesome.
I think next year the only thing you got to change next year is you got to delay that rainstorm just a couple hours longer before it hits the ground.
Dude, that rainstorm was a nightmare. That was for sure.
Absolutely.
I just gotta go redeem myself.
Yeah, if it could have been an hour or 2 later, I'd have been happy. But
absolutely,
cannot do anything with act of God, I guess.
Nope, that's
Mother Nature. It'll get you every time.
Yep.
Coming out of Bash for Cash with our year-end awards, one of the Story of the Year candidates is David Tillery, who won the compact division, $10,000, richest show that he's ever won. He was so confident that he was going to win the compact division and take home that $10,000 that the Thursday before Bash for Cash, it was Thursday and he ran on. The compacts ran Sunday.
Yes,
ran Sunday. Thursday, he booked a trip for his family to Disney, and the only way he was going to be able to pay for it is if he won that derby on Sunday, and he did.
That's ballsy as hell.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's confidence.
Gives him a drive.
That's confidence.
That's
ballsy as hell.
I mean, really, every derby driver guys out there, when they enter a big show, they're saying they can win.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of drivers out there can win this thing, in each class. So you just have to be a little lucky and know how to drive.
Yep.
No doubt.
That's how I look at it.
True. Very true. Well, we're looking forward to it. Obviously, I hope that you enjoy a little bit of the downtime. Certainly, you've earned it through the course of this summer. I know you had a ton of people helping make your derbies possible. Anybody that you wanted to make mention of here before we let you go?
Just I could go on for about a half hour naming people's names. Just my crew. And if it wasn't for Russ and probably Fatty, I couldn't do it, and all my other crew. Definitely. Everybody that works for me. It's a beast. That's for sure.
No doubt.
We can yell that.
Everybody gets upset because you don't get to sleep or anything like that for that weekend. So I just appreciate all of them.
We have to say a super thank you to Fatty, because Fatty yells at me that every time we have you on, Tim or Ross, you guys don't say thank you to Fatty enough. So I was told I specifically have to say thank you to Fatty.
He'll get mad at me, that's for sure. I always try to say something. My nephew does great for me. He's with me. Everybody thinks he's my brother, but he's actually my nephew. But, he's with me all the time. And anything he needs, he knows he can come to his uncle and he'll get.
Is that what you meant when you were telling me that Fatty's the brains behind Smash It Demolition
Exactly.
Derbies? Okay, I just want to make sure that.
Yeah, we'll just say if it wasn't for him, probably Smash It wouldn't be evolved. I guess we'll just say that so he can really get a big head.
There you go.
There you go.
We're gonna see you at Blizzard Bash this year.
Absolutely. I mean,
Awesome.
I love going to big shows. I like seeing different things. So I kind of booked my vacation. So I'll be out there. You're definitely for sure.
We look forward to seeing you out there.
So okay.
Well, Tim, man, always
Have
good to
me
talk to
on,
you.
and I guess we'll be talking.
We'll see you soon for sure.
All right, buddy.
See you,
Thanks,
Tim.
Tim. Good job on them. We're on.
We'll see you.
There goes Tim Clark from Smash It Demolition Derbies. Again, extending thank yous out to everybody who's made this year possible for that contingent. Smash It.
I don't think people understand 600 cars going through, and I don't think people understand the
can't.
size of that event. I don't think you understand.
And you know what? If it continues growing, they're going to have to find someplace with bigger stands or try to get more stands in there.
I don't think it can. Car entry wise, it can't get any bigger.
Well, I just mean spectators.
Attendance wise,
I don't know if they want it any bigger.
no.
It's been. Well, we were there.
You
We
can't get
We
you
saw
can't,
it. It's like
you
crazy.
can't get any bigger facility than what they got right now, and actually still be able to view it decent. I mean, in the area. I mean, the only other bigger thing
Jumbotrons.
to do is go to an actual football stadium.
Something like that. Yeah.
But that ain't
Football stadium
that's
would be
not
nice
gonna-
for a derby.
That's
Hey, it's
that,
Chris,
I
can I
don't
put
think
you?
that would ever fly, really.
Imagine playing in Ohio State or derby at Ohio
No, you
State.
know why? Because people would film the stands and be like, "No one showed up to duck the show," and it's like there's 20,000 people, but 40,000 seats are empty. I couldn't get 20.
Oh, that's not what I was saying. I was just listen to your pipe dreaming. Pipe dreaming.
Such a bad.
Yeah, but
is
Josh,
business.
Josh, real quick, shifting gears to actual promoters
Yeah, go ahead to the real one.
from your pipe dreams.
Every time I talk to Sam, I realize like I'm not in the game. Today, Sam was talking about promoters that don't know nothing, and I'm like, okay, my name would be in that list.
Well, Sam, we wanted to follow up with you on some of the topics that we hit on last week. We've got a bunch of the different raffles and a bunch of the different giveaways and programs that we've been working on, and some of the logistics that are coming together as we get closer and closer. Momentum continue to build around Blizzard Bash.
Absolutely. Hey, guys.
Hey,
We're getting everything all ready here. We've got all the inspection times put together today. Candace is going to be getting those out tomorrow for all the national qualifying teams, so they know about what time to try to be there. So yeah, we're working on logistics and all that, getting everything up and rolling with the all the raffles and stuff. So no, everything's rolling really well right now. It's kind of the calm before the storm a little bit. So it's good. This is a time that everybody's just scrambling a little bit. So we're good.
we saw the poster that was circulating on all of our Facebook that was doing the benefits for Emily. You've got the trailer that's being given away, trying to get her sent to Mexico. Can you give us any more feedback and details on how that's come together?
Yeah, absolutely. No, the benefit is for Emily Barnes. Her and CJ obviously have. We've been trying to raise money for them this year. This is the first time that Ultimate Derby. They've done other raffles, they've done other things, and we really appreciate everybody who's pitched in and helped with those. Kyle Pudwitter and all those were just, absolutely instrumental in trying to get all that done. They were actually able to pay for her first trip to Mexico, and she's had her first treatment, and so. The awesome thing is they are actually seeing improvement.
Great.
So the muscles are starting to regenerate themselves a little bit, and so everybody's cautiously optimistic, but it's hey, we'll take the good news. So what we're working on now is she'll have to have this treatment every year, and the treatment is just shy of $20,000. So we're trying to raise money for the 2017 treatment is what we're trying to raise money for now. We have also. The group that is actually doing the raffle is a nonprofit organization, and they are a nonprofit organization in Kansas, and we'll be putting out all kinds of information on them. They'll be at the event. They'll actually be the ones taking the money at the event, and so then they will give the majority of the proceeds to Emily. They will take a small percentage of the proceeds, and that goes back into their work there in Topeka. So Ultimate Derby will not take one dime of that raffle. Our marketing group don't take a dime of that raffle. So we have Alan Coleman Marketing that works with us and they're doing all of the marketing. They actually kind of brought the nonprofit to us and said, "Is there anything we can do?" And we said, "Absolutely." And so that's kind of what we're doing there for Topeka and for Emily. So it'll be a really good deal. And like I said, we'll be selling tickets there. It'll be $20 a ticket, and first place, or the first prize, or the grand prize, I guess, if you will, is about a $4,000 trailer from Hoyt Trailer Sales there in Topeka. We have the trailer on display at Capital Carnage. We're going to try to get pictures of it up tomorrow or the next day.
That's nice.
And then the second place deal, I can't thank Jordan Ingram enough from IFD. They are donating the cradle, so it will be a full IFD cradle that will be the second place winner will get. Third place will be parts and pieces from Speedway radiators and stuff like that. So that's kind of how that raffle will go. So I think it'll be a really good deal, and we're going to try to pay for that next treatment for her, and all the money goes right from the. And people have asked, how do you make sure the money is going towards the treatment? How do you make sure that kind of stuff? And how we're going to do it is when the nonprofit gives her the money, it actually will not go to them. It actually goes into their bank, and from their bank will be wired directly to the treatment facility. So that none of the funds will go into any personal accounts or anything like that. So it's all been set up that way. That's how the other raffles were done this year, to ensure that every dime goes to help Emily, and it keeps everybody accountable. Everything's good, and everybody knows where the funds are going. So that's kind of how that's going to work. So, but yeah, we're excited. We love to help if we can. Giving back to Emily and CJ. I mean, they've been huge supporters of the Derby world and us and everything else, and it's just our chance to give back a little bit. And like I said, the trailer is fully donated. We're paying for the trailer. IFD's paying for the cradle, and they've donated that. So I can't thank Jordan Ingram and the Ingrams enough for everything they're doing. So
it's cool.
Very cool.
Pretty impressive. That trailer was nice.
Oh, it's a beautiful trailer.
trailer.
You gonna win that?
We're going to buy a car right there in the parking lot to put right on top of it, and then Ben will haul it home.
I got a used Imperial that Josh can take home on that trailer.
Yes. Deal. Actually, Gullo's trying to get me to buy his right now. He's trying to deliver it to... He's like, I'll just deliver it there, and then you take it home. It's like, no, don't do that. You're not any closer to home for me.
It's only like a 23-hour drive back with that thing, right?
He's like, I'm just going to leave it in the parking lot. Find someone to bring it home. It's like, that's not going to happen.
Joker's out there all the time. Just get him to throw it on the back of the trailer. At least he'll get it back to the East Coast for you.
That's true.
There you go.
Closer, one step closer.
It's still a day away. Still a day away.
A whole day of hauling.
Yeah, you live
round
in
trip.
such a bad spot. I hate road.
You just don't like to drive. That's your problem.
I hate drive. I drive all day for work.
Just sit next to Ben and keep him awake for 23 hours. He'll do the driving.
I gotta get an RV. I do. I gotta get an RV.
So what? So you could go sleep and Ben can drive the RV?
Well, I mean,
Get me back in his recliner.
Hey, I did the hard part.
Watching Derby videos.
I did the hard part. I got the RV.
Did you see that? No, Josh, I'm driving. Sorry.
Ben, pull over real quick. You got to see this.
Yeah. That's what I was doing. Like, you gotta watch this one.
That could be doing pay-per-view on the ride.
Yeah.
People would watch that.
No, it'll be fun.
Yeah, what we need to do is stream your trip.
Yeah, people would watch that.
That's my idea. Don't take my idea. I already said that. The Crash Course Podcast streaming trip to events. I already came up with that.
You'd have to mute half of what.
Yeah, we.
Have to mute half
some of that's worse than what's said before the mics go on here. So we probably have to
get fired up. I say dumb stuff.
Yes. No, not you.
Yes, you do.
And when we all get tired, you know what? People would actually love to watch us coming back home from shit when we're angry, we're tired. We're not angry at each other, but
just angry
we don't
in general.
Give a shit what each other's doing. I bet that would be gold on TV. I guarantee it.
It'd have to be on HBO though, so all the language would pass through. Yep. I mean, we'd have to, something
it's
like that.
It's rare that we sit together on the flights home. Like if we're waiting at a layover, it is rare that we're all at the same seating area at the gates because we just spent 40 hours talking to each other on the air. Not to mention the extra time at the hotel, dealing with everybody's. I mean, it's just short at times of slapping one another open-handed across the face, and then you go.
Has that happened before?
No, that's exactly right. That's kind of what happens. Or I'll say like, "Hey Ben, you know what I saw this weekend?" Blah blah blah, and then he'll go like, "You're way off," and that's it. Like, okay, you're way off.
Sam, that probably never happens with your staff, does it?
No, they think I know what I'm talking about.
Sam, that never happens. Your staff doesn't get tired of being around each other?
They stay away from everybody for a little while. No, it's kind of funny. You can tell everybody by Sunday they don't want to talk to each other. They don't want to. They just want to go home. And they're tired and exhausted. We just put together, like I said, the inspection times. And these poor guys, it's gonna be wild. We'll run on Wednesday. We're gonna start inspections at 8:00 in the morning, and we're gonna run. I'll bet you we run almost midnight that night, and then on Tuesday we start right back at 7:30 in the morning. They have to push a team every half an hour. On Thursday, they have to push a team out every half an hour on Thursday in order for us to make start time on Thursday night at 4. So those poor guys, and then they'll help me work the event that night, and then Friday we come right back for inspections again. So those guys, they don't get a lot of sleep, and girls, and they work their tails off. So yeah, by the time Sunday gets there, they're all friends, sort of, kind of, but they're ready to go home to their family. So, but it's good. We have a lot of fun. So, no, this year's going to be. We're doing a lot of things a lot different this year. You won't see me on the berm a lot. What we're going to do is this is something that we haven't talked a lot about. We're going to be using race receivers this year. The drivers will actually have a race receiver with earbuds in their ears.
Oh yeah.
And we will actually be able to talk to the drivers. So
awesome.
Red flags, stuff on the track, sandbagging warnings, none of those will be stopped. We won't stop the event. We'll stop the event just to get the stuff off the track, but everybody will know when we go to red flag, there will be one person talking to the drivers all weekend. Very calm person. He will stay calm with them. It's no yelling, no shouting. All it is just purely talking over the race receiver so the drivers know what's going on. If there's a fire, if there's somebody hurt, if there's, for whatever reason, we have to stop the event, all the drivers will know instantly what's going on. So that's something new that we're adding this year. We're actually going to have almost like an administrative area up on the second level where myself, Kenny Money, the race receiver person, and the official scorer will sit. So I'm going to call them controversial calls, will come from there. It won't come from the guys on the berm. They'll just enforce it. We're noticing that on the berm we're having a hard time seeing the whole track and seeing everything that's going on. I noticed when I was watching your guys' Blizzard Bash DVDs that you guys were seeing a bumper on the track or a fire almost probably 15 to 20 seconds before we were. Right. And so, you could hear on the video going, "Guys, fire!" And so, it's just a point of view. And so we're changing our point of view so that we can see better and make that call from there. So I'm still at the event. We're still working the event. We're just going to take a little bit different point of view so that we can see the track better. So there's going to be some changes coming, and so it's all good stuff. It's just making the event better. And like I said, if drivers want to bring their own earbuds, go ahead and bring them. If not, we'll have them there. Obviously, the ones we provide are going to be very inexpensive ones, but but if you want to bring nice earbuds, you will have to wear them inside your helmet. They are mandatory, and we will provide you the race receiver there before you go on the track. So again, something new that we're trying. We've bought 30 race receivers if we like it, and then every driver will have one at Blizzard Bash, and we won't have to swap them back and forth. So there might be a little bit of a lag between heats, but while we're cleaning off the track, the next heat will already be staged with them. We'll be working on the heat after that. We'll be getting ready to be staged with the race receivers. So it's going to be a little bit different for Derby, but it's required in race cars. It's required in every other motorsports, just so that we can communicate with them. So again, something brand new we're trying, but we're going to keep trying to elevate this thing and just make it safer for everyone. If drivers know what's going on, it just makes it safer for everyone. So a lot of stuff we're really excited about this year. New stuff and things we're going to try, but I think it's just going to make us all better.
Going to the second level, that really it really makes a lot of sense, because like you look at any of the big races, NASCAR, anything like that, their race directors are always in like the top of the booth, and then they have it's a better perspective, it's easier to see. So that's definitely a great idea. I like the race receiver too. That's my brother's ran one of those for years here, It's just, so there is somebody that can, hey, look, this is what's going on. This is what we're doing, yada, yada, yada. You know what I mean?
And Sam nailed on something important. The race director has to be somebody who does not get excited ever.
Yeah.
So he's even keel, nice and steady and calm. And
it's one of those inspectors that we've had for years, and not for years. I mean, he came on with us last year. Very calm in the inspection line. He'll stay very calm, and it'll be it's Jared Beatty, and you'll be able to hear his voice. And the nice thing is he'll just we've just told him you got to take all the emotion out of it. All it is you are purely relaying the information. So he'll actually have two headsets. He'll have the headset from the guys on the track, and what they see and what we obviously will be sitting right next to him see will be relayed down to him. Now, what we're going to ask the drivers is what information do they want to know? Obviously safety information we're going to relay to them, but then any other information that they want to know, if they want to know that, driver XYZ is down to 10 seconds on the clock, or, that kind of stuff is what we're going to talk to the drivers at the driver's party. And most drivers are saying, no, I'd rather not know where my clock is because I don't want my competitors to know where my clock is.
Right.
Maybe drivers that go, dude,
Yes.
I want to know where if I'm down to 10 seconds, I want to know it. Mm-hmm. And so, that it could have prevented some issues in the past that we've had. And so, I mean, it's one of those things that, we're going to leave it up to the drivers on that kind of stuff, but everything safety-wise, sandbagging, anything like that, when we get into our classes that go a little bit slower, you'll get your one sandbagging deal comes right over the radio, and all the drivers are going to hear it, all the drivers are going to know it, and go from there. Now, what we can do in the future, we won't have them at Blizzard Bash yet, but what we're going to try to do at future events is rent fan receivers. So if you want to listen in on the event and you want to listen in on what the drivers are hearing, then you can rent those from us for a little bit every night, and you rent the fan receiver, and you can hear everything the drivers are hearing.
Awesome.
So again, it's we're trying to make it better. We're trying to make it you guys will be able to have one. Everybody will hear everybody who has a race receiver will be able to hear what we're talking about and go from there. So like I said, it's mainly for safety. But it's, drivers may want to know more information. So we're going to hear from them what they want to hear, and, we'll definitely go from there. And Thursday night's going to be a trial and error with it. I mean, there's going to be some things we figure out that work really well, some things that may not work so well. So, the big thing is we've went out in the backyard with them and made sure you could hear it when you're in a derby car. And in a nice enclosed helmet like what I wear, you can hear them great. In an open face helmet, you might not be able to hear it so well. So we're going to have to play with it and figure out, how it works and, what's comfortable. But if you have a set of earbuds that are comfortable to you, bring them. They'll plug right into the race receiver.
Yep.
Well, it's definitely going to be able to stop the show 10 times faster.
Which is a big deal.
Yeah.
I like it for that.
And guys, I think guys will be, you get the guys that won't, be in tune to it, but then other guys that aren't used to it, but yeah, you're definitely going to be able to stop the show 10 times faster, which is a big deal, especially if somebody's hurt or fired or something like that.
We're a couple in the second tier vantage point with that too, with that receiver.
Casinos have been doing it forever. Eye in the sky.
Yep,
vantage
absolutely.
point, you see everything.
I was thinking racetracks, but you're right. Casinos have been doing it forever.
Yeah. It's totally different perspective. Like Sam said, what we were seeing last year, and even there's even more elevated points there. But I mean, it's definitely. I mean, I think he's going to be happy he does that 100%.
No doubt.
But you're starting a whole nother thing, Sam, which I'm just going to throw this out there. But let's say drivers are on the track and you're down to 5-6 guys or whatever, and you hear someone say, Ben Haas, you're being warned for sandbagging.
Oh, dude, I'm going to tee off on him.
I'm going to... Right. So now you have all their 9 drivers saying, like, wait a minute, screw Ben Haas. He ain't going to sandbag this one. And that's what they're saying. That's what I would say that immediately in turn and say, where the hell is Ben? Because I'm going to send it to him.
Yeah.
So this could somewhat... You guys could be picking up the pace on the track without the people in the stands even understanding what's happening.
Right.
I like it.
And some of the big thing was, we go out and warn drivers for whatever reason that they're not hitting hard or they're, whatever that we're warning the drivers. The nice thing is if there's 4 drivers picking on one, I don't have to stop the event.
Yeah,
I can
exactly.
say, guys, mix it up.
Yes.
Right.
You got to mix it up.
Yeah.
And so that's the nice thing is we've stopped these events to go out and talk to drivers.
Yeah.
Now we don't have to. And so the one thing that we're going to have to work on is the communication to the fans. You guys are going to be able to communicate to the pay-per-view easily because you're going to be able to hear what's going on. It's us communicating to the fans on why did all of a sudden so-and-so get their stick broke?
Yes.
Well, they've already had 2 warnings. They've had, that's going to be a little bit of a challenge for us.
Yes.
But I think after every heat, we're going to have to go back. The nice thing is the other drivers can say, hey, we all heard it. We heard it. They got warned twice, and it is what it is, or whatever the case is. That's the nice thing is the drivers will be completely in tune on what's going on. Because if I go out and we're on a red flag, everybody's cars are running hot, I go out and, holler in somebody's ear hole that, hey, you need to hit harder or mix it up or whatever, half the time they're going, dude, I cannot hear what you're saying.
Yes. Right.
And so then we're out there trying to explain it to them. Everybody in the stands is going, what in the world's going on?
Right.
They don't understand anyways. We go back to green flag, and after the heat, we've heard them, a few times go, man, I didn't even know what you were yelling at me for.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so we're hoping that it just clears up the communication between us and the drivers. So again, something we'll try, and if it doesn't work, we'll try something different next time. But, we keep looking at these different arenas that don't have all the big boards and all this different stuff that Topeka has, and we're going to have to find a system. Topeka's great. I mean, all the red lights, all the stuff, but we've still had, a lot of drivers hit well after red flags, and, I mean, it's changed the outcome a couple times. Yeah. And, you feel bad for those drivers, and they're going, man, I got tunnel vision. I just didn't see it. Mm-hmm. Okay, but that doesn't make it right.
Yes.
And so, it's one of those things that, hopefully it's just going to make us better, make the drivers better, more aware. And, I mean, it's going to be tough to ignore somebody in your ear going, hey, red flag, we need to stop. We got a bumper on the track.
Well,
or,
we were at
hey,
a derby.
We got fuel on the track. Everybody kill their motors. I can tell everybody instantly what to do.
We were just at a derby where a couple times after the red flag, they were trying to air horn. They got lights. There's still guys so into it. Well, Utah was a prime example. In Utah, there was times there 30 seconds after the red flag, these guys are still smoking each other. There's officials on the track, and there's guys still doing it. Now, me personally, I would have black flagged a guy right there. You're just done. Because if you can't pay attention enough, then you shouldn't be out there. Because I don't like when people say, well, I got tunnel vision. Okay, that's scary to me. But I like what Sam's saying is listen, you cannot, after I yell at you in your ear and the lights are on and the boards are blinking and everyone else stopped, if you didn't stop, you're not paying attention, you're out. Yeah. There'll be no ifs, ands, or buts after that one.
And the whole backside of this whole thing is keeping the flow.
Right.
Keeping the flow going, keeping the action going. People in the stands may not understand why that car's not stopping, why is that car stopped, why that car's stick broke or whatever.
Yep.
But on the backside of that, they're happier than hell because the show's not getting stopped 18 times.
Yes.
And the flow's going, and then that gets the heats done faster, that gets the transition, that gets the show done, and everything's just works at a constant flow instead of constantly got stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. But
it's going to help us with everything, even on the starts.
Yeah.
When we go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, if somebody jumps the gun, I don't even have to stop it. I can just say, number whatever, XYZ, you're out, you jump the gun at 3.
That's a great one.
So break your stick.
Yep.
I mean, it can. We used to have to stop it for if we were trying to call a driver out.
Yeah.
And he just would not stop, and he's glaring at the officials. We can try to get in his. We can say, hey, here's the deal. Either you're out now or you're out for the weekend. Stop.
Right.
And it's one of those deals that, like I said, it's just trying to make us better. So we'll try it and we'll give it a whirl. And it's one of those deals that Speedway helped us out, and they helped us out on a great price on these receivers. We bought 30 of them, and we're going to try it. And if it works, we're going to buy 200 of them for next year's event. So it's one of those deals that we're going to just keep investing back and try to make the sport better. So.
Awesome.
Well, you're gonna love those. You're gonna love those receivers. Those things are outstanding.
Yep.
Sam, and the information about Emily, awesome. The way that's all set up. Good information there. Good insight on the receivers. You're around next weekend. Next. Let's see. I gotta remember. I think next weekend is when we got something going on here on Monday.
It's Halloween.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. My schedule
is
so
Capital Carnage. Capital Carnage is opening up on the 1st as general opening. We'll close down the site on Halloween, and then we'll reset everything so that we can go into our general opening on the 1st. We're going to be announcing the rest of the classes on there. We got a real cool class that we'll talk about either we can talk about next week or at Blizzard Bash that we're going to try for Capital Carnage. That'll be a fun twist. A class that's, to my knowledge, never been tried in Demolition Derby. It may have. I just don't know about it. But it's going to be something new that we try. So we got some really cool stuff that we'll be announcing for Capital Carnage. But for the main limited weld, $10,000 down to $1,000 with a $5,000 Mad Dog, that $60,000 class will open November 1st at 7 p.m. To the general public, to anybody who didn't pre-register last year. So everybody's open then. But if you did register last year, or even if you didn't drive, as long as you were registered, you can register up till Halloween. On Halloween, we'll shut it down, reset the site, so we know exactly how many entries we have left to take. And we're taking only 100 entries. So,
wow, it's going to be a good one. We'll plan on trying, if your schedule allows, we'll try and get together on Tuesday next week after Halloween, and we'll get into some of those details when we're back on the air here at Finger Lakes 1.
Sounds good.
All right, Sandman.
Hey, wait, real quick. Munch has got an idea for your. He was saying to let the crowd know what's going on while you're in earsets. You could have someone throw the information up on the jumbotron, which might possibly be a good idea.
It's workable.
You could do that for sure.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Like if they wrote 56 out for sandbag or whatever, but maybe you wouldn't have to say anything. Maybe the people could look up on the jumbotron. Just an idea. That's a good idea, Munch.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I just want to throw that out there.
Awesome idea.
Hey, if you're going to use 56, you got to throw the J behind it so Jeremy Jones knows at least you're talking about him.
Brutal.
Awesome, guys. No, that's a great idea, Josh. I'll find out how tough it is to add stuff on the fly. I know most of the stuff that we try to give them is well prepared, but I mean, Chris, obviously you'd know better than I would probably on that stuff. But we'll chat more about that, and that'd be a great idea. Then people can just kind of see it as a news flash as it pops up there.
Right.
I got an idea that. Yeah, I'll get with you.
Big fireworks display.
Yeah, now everybody's wheels are turning.
Well, I mean, we've already got the grab technology that they were using. There's a way that we could probably incorporate that, and we would just have to train it on a particular. I'll get with you. Yeah. I'm on it. I'll get with you on it. But,
all right, Chris, you're smarter than us. Just
Sam, as always, appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us. Good information tonight.
And one more thing, Chris, if you got 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Is the Fantasy League winner is going to get their next year's Blizzard Bash. We will put them up in a suite for 2 pit passes for the whole weekend,
nice.
A $500 demo package.
Nice.
So that is going to be the winner of this year's Blizzard Bash Fantasy League. We'll get that next year, so don't forget to get your Fantasy League teams in. And we'll get all those details up on Facebook either tonight or tomorrow on exactly what that package will come with. But it'll be a suite at the Capitol Plaza for the whole Blizzard Bash. If you want to be there Wednesday through Sunday, we don't care. Come in and enjoy it. Pit pass for 2 for the whole weekend,
awesome.
And plus about a $500 package that we're putting together with some of the vendors. So it'll be Derby apparel. It'll be just awesome. A lot of that kind of stuff. That'll be specific to you winning the Fantasy League.
Perfect. Appreciate it. We're over 400 teams now. I got more of them in. We're over 400.
When did you open registration?
It's been open for a little while, but we had to finish some stuff on the infrastructure, so I didn't really push it. And then Candace and I were talking. I said it's ready to go, and just like that, we had 250. So right now we're trending ahead of last year. Last year I think we ended up with 780. I think was the final, and we're already ahead of that. Zach Olson's actually been working more this year in terms of the data entry, just because we've got. You've got more fields to fill now, So I mean we had more drivers to load, so it's taking longer to load the teams. And he's been very active in loading teams now, which usually he was just doing the stats and stuff. He's working on another 40 of them that I sent to him tonight. So that'll push us up over the 400 mark when we finally do that update.
Nice.
Probably midnight tonight if everything goes right.
Crazy.
Zach's awesome. We appreciate all the help.
He is awesome. He's a good dude. He's with those stats. I love the stats, and the stats part of it that he keeps
cool.
Not just that, but this year we've got this new dynamic that we haven't had before. In years past with the Fantasy League, people have looked at it and been, okay, kind of cool. This year there's guys that are saying, I don't want the extra pressure with this. I've been picked so many times. I wasn't asking for more pressure, but now I've got it. And there's other guys that aren't picked that are saying, I am going to be the bracket breaker. I am going to ruin people's plans.
Yes.
Which is... That's awesome. So you got to get the pay-per-view because you got to see this happen because there's guys that are out there for the point of ruining somebody else's day.
Absolutely.
Just because they were more popular.
Absolutely. Which is awesome.
No doubt.
Which is Josh lived that for his entire high school life.
Absolutely. You have no idea.
But again, man, appreciate the info on that, and we'll work with you on the updates. I'll get with you on a couple ideas I got in terms of getting that information up on the board.
Perfect. 2 weeks, gentlemen. 2 weeks.
Can't wait, man.
2 weeks.
Here we go.
Looking forward to it.
Moving quick.
So we're excited. Thanks for all your guys' help.
You bet, man. We'll see you soon.
See ya.
All right, sounds good.
There goes Sam Williams.
Something about that show is like, I don't know how we got to be part of the biggest goddamn show ever is really badass at the end of the
I
day.
do.
Well,
Because I
it's
told
actually.
you motherfuckers
Hey,
no.
you did. You did. You did.
So close.
You did.
We can just edit off that.
You can edit that out.
Oh, I got enough editing to do. This is. I am right back right now. I am right back in the middle of like 2013 when I had just DVD crap stacked up in the background, and this had to be done. And this had to be. I tried to leave this life, which just sucked me back in. But I guess
It's a good thing you're used to not sleeping.
comes with being gangster, I guess.
Well, they ain't no different you jumping into a dragster podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
trying to take stuff off your plate. We keep
know.
having this conversation off the plate.
Yep.
Stop adding on to it.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Finger Lakes One would like to officially welcome Final Round Podcast, airing opposite 31st Lap on Thursdays. We've got a couple local folks that are into drag racing and stuff, some sportsman drag racing. They're going to start coming and being a part of Motorsports Thursday here, which is going to go opposite 31st Lap. So we got circle track one week and drag strips the other. And before long, the minivan is going to go for the quarter mile. Maybe not. Boy, those looks aren't.
I want to take one of my boxcar Imperials, that 62, with the window stripped and everything, right? Put my Mosers in it, put a Magnum in it, and just take it to the drag strip just one time and just stacks and all.
Disappointed.
Will I?
Yeah.
You think so? I don't give a shit. I just want to do it.
Yeah.
Will you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I could smoke the tires on it.
Put Gregory's LS motor in it and then put it down the strip.
I'm building an LS. I'm working on it.
They
I'm already
just had
collecting
one on
parts.
horsepower.
Really?
LSX block and everything else. It pushed over 600 horse.
You should have heard the conversations that we had on Thursday about what kind of horsepower they were pushing out of these different engine combinations. It was insane.
Ask
You
them to
love it.
donate trannies. I need some Mopar rears.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Catskill Fabrication is certainly available to make coolers and tanks and reservoirs that might be needed for anybody running dragsters.
That's true. That's true.
Absolutely.
We had that conversation in the pits in Virginia. He goes, "So what's this drag racing thing that you started?" I said, "Why? You got fuel cells that'll fit. I'll make anything that needs to
Damn
be
right.
made."
He should get out into it like that. Well, I know he's making mud reefs and stuff.
He's not dependent on the class and never be able to make a fuel cell unless he puts bladders in them.
Yeah, most of those, they all have bladders.
That stuff's highly, very, very restricted.
Which, I mean, he could build the outer part, and because I mean that's all it is the outer aluminum
shell.
part, and then the bladder goes in, and then you put a top on it, and usually they'll be like, for a better term, like a U clamp that'll go over the top and then down, and then you just tighten them up from the bottom, like a bolt sucks it down tight.
You
But
can build some cool catch
I'd
cans.
say out of that.
Catch cans or something like that, but they don't.
You can make this. Well, yeah, you're right. You're right. Oh, speaking of that, I thought of an idea. I want to start a business. I got an idea.
besides for promoting derbies,
Yeah, that's not going to make me any money.
okay.
Pipe dreaming.
No, I thought of a product. And
Okay.
I'm about to let it out.
All right. Well,
No,
why don't you?
I want to watch because
why-
I'm going to tell Ben about it, and then Ben's going to let me know if my idea would work at Blizzard Bash.
Okay,
Because
all
he
right.
brought the idea up last year, and then it faded. And
Okay.
I'm
Well,
gonna-
let's not say anything because right now everybody's scrambling to their videos to go back and look through the part where Ben mentioned it.
Okay.
You
I'm
don't
going
wanna
to
give
make them.
that
I'm going to
away.
sell them.
You're going
I
to pay
thought you
somebody
said
to
you
make
get
them
out
and
there.
sell them.
I was
Huh?
gonna say,
You're going to pay somebody to make them, and then you're going to sell them.
Exactly right.
Ben's going to be making them.
Exactly
Josh
right.
going to be selling them.
I'm the marketing.
You
He's
are.
the marketing.
You're the
yes.
brains.
Yes, I'm not a people person.
Let's get out of here. Congratulations over the weekend to Ed Brewster, who won overall in that RC Derby. He took first place with one of the new style JMW wagons and held up pretty well. Rob Ostrander, second place. Jimmy Aldrich came away with third, had a dead battery, and my boy got fourth. I lost reverse and then knocked the steering out of it. That was a bit of a pincushion.
Your kid's a driver.
He's a man.
He is.
He breaks so much stuff, but he
You
loves
just got to
it.
get him some
He loves
Ohio
it.
bodies now.
He took his.
Yes.
He's got Ohio bodies
Oh,
available
really?
to him. He likes the ones that bend to hell.
No, the real Ohio bodies.
Oh, yeah, no, because most of those Ohio bodies that are built like that shouldn't be running.
Should buy him some for
They're
Christmas.
not-
Your kid deserves to
You're
be.
part of the promoter. You get it, man.
Yeah.
I don't know like that. I don't know about.
You got to keep telling your kid to keep pushing your kid. Every morning, wake up and just look him in the eye and say, "You're a driver." I wish my dad would have done that.
Your dad didn't tell you were a
He
driver?
didn't tell me shit.
Go out there and practice with the Y-framer.
You want to know something?
Yeah, exactly.
My dad would tell you right now that you're a driver.
And that's why I love your dad.
But, I think we covered all of our bases for tonight. We're going to be back on Tuesday, and that will be the last of our odd scheduling for October. We'll get that taken care of, and we'll figure it out. If we have any changes or details, we'll post it up online, and we'll try.
So what, we're not going to be here next Monday?
No.
No, you said Tuesday.
It's Halloween. You got to take your kids trick-or-treating.
Yeah, you probably should. Probably should do that family thing once a year. Right?
Stop. My kids are great.
You don't have any neighbors.
Speaking of that, my kid is 12 years old right now. I'm throwing this out there because I'm already started stockpiling. But I'm going to start stockpiling. I don't want full compacts. I want like ready stripped. Mostly built, maybe.
You went a way different direction than I thought you were going with this.
My kid is going to have, he probably doesn't even want to run. I don't even care. He's going to have 12 cars sitting out front. It's like, just go pick the one you want. He's going to say, like, I don't really care. Like he tells me now, I don't really want to. It's like, no, there are 7 Luminas built out there. You were going to get in one.
Yeah, way to go, Dad.
And Chris is going to ride with you.
Father of the Year. Negative.
Wrap them in bubble wrap and put them in there.
How old's your kid?
He's 7.
Okay, he's got a few years.
Okay.
I'm going to get him one.
Got a few years. He'll be running Impalas.
You better talk to Mrs. Marquardt before you get a derby car.
No, you always, it's always easier. We all know this. It's always easier.
Ask for forgiveness. I made that phone call. I don't know if I told you about this. No. When I was on my way to Oneonta to tell her that I was getting my leg sewn shut.
Shouldn't have made that call.
She had to make the call because it was on YouTube.
Oh.
Yeah. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. If he didn't make the call, he was getting a call. Is there something you want to tell me?
I've been to ERs before. I knew it was going to be a quick trip, and it was another 45 minutes the opposite direction of home.
Yeah.
So when I come home, it's like, did the derby go long? Because everybody else was posting on Facebook that it ended several hours ago.
Super glue them next time.
Super glue and duct tape.
Definitely, dude.
The doctor said, I don't really understand how you don't have a broken leg. It's like, me either, sir. Drank a lot of milk, I guess.
Yep.
It's all those years of running on those rough tracks and toughen up your tibias and fibias.
Yep. We had a kid shove both of those bones out through the side of his leg during flag football in school.
That's awesome.
That was not awesome. That was not awesome. If you don't have the stomach for that kind of stuff, it was not awesome.
Oh, that's right. You don't have that stomach.
I do not.
As
Josh will so eloquently say, I do not have a man card, and I won't ever have one because of things like that.
No, you won't. But, I mean, we're working on it.
I'm working on getting there.
Yeah. I mean, you're to the boy.
I got dreams, though. I got dreams. I got accomplishments, and I've got dreams.
So it keeps you going. Pipe dream.
That was not a pipe dream, sir. That's going to do it for this edition of The Crash Course. Episode number 153 is in the books. We'll be back here again next Tuesday. We'll see you then.
The Crash Course Podcast is brought to you in part by DerbyParts.com. The 2015 Wadena Grand Slam. Bull Lockwood Motorsports and the 2015 Keystone National. Scioppa Racing and ScioppaRacing.com. Ultimate Derby and Blizzard Bash 2015. Demo Derby Masters. Reckless Abandon Derby Apparel at RecklessAbandonGear.com. And Derby Inc. Magazine. Live it, breathe it, be it, Derby Inc. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York.